What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Treyarch just released the roadmap for Season 5, and I'm going to be diving into specifically the zombies portion. I'm looking forward to Reckoning, the last and final chapter in the zombies experience for Black Ops 6. And I think, honestly, based on what we've seen so far, they absolutely cooked. Now, we are going to go through the roadmap. I am going to leave it in the pinned comment down below for those of you that want to check it out for yourselves, but let's go ahead and dive right into it here. Now, of course, we know that the new round-based map is coming, and it is called Reckoning. Will be available on launch. We can expect Peck, Ravenov, and Strauss to provide our valuable support, with Raptor 1 coming to help us exfil. You know, Panos, who sacrificed Alpha Team to return himself from the Dark Ether, and also John Blanchard, last seen pursuing Panos into the tower. And we also have Sam and Richthofen, all going to be available, hopefully wrapping up this story in some way, shape, or form here in Black Ops 6. So I'm looking forward to honestly seeing what direction this goes. I don't think it's going to be a grand finale as in wrapping up the entire story, because we do know that Black Ops 7 Zombies is around the corner. Now, with a new map, we actually got a new elite enemy. Last map was the Shattered Veil. We got the Elder Disciple, which honestly, it was a nice change of pace. This time, we're getting an automaton alert, with our new elite enemy being Uber Klaus. Now, this is pretty exciting. I think he looks pretty cool. The secret research and development program of Project Janus appears to have been more evolved than originally thought, developing many more robots in the Klaus assembly lab than first anticipated. The greatest of these threats is the Uber Klaus, a murderous automaton encased in a toughened, bulky exoskeleton that maintains a cocky attitude, lethal efficiency, and super strength, all directed at newly programmed threats. Enemy takedown tactics are unknown at this point, though combat is likely to be focused on disrupting the Uber Klaus's form's heavy shielding and avoiding its melee attacks. Once the exoskeleton is broken, the Uber Klaus core will eject, revealing its second deadly form. Now, not only is it have a singular form, this thing also changes once you break through its first little wall or shield, right? That's kind of insane. So it's an evolving elite enemy. The Uberklaus core increases in agility, sacrificing defenses for less lumbering locomotion and flying capabilities thanks to rocket-powered hover boots. Definitely reminds me of the Panzers, obviously in Cold War. So kind of exciting there to see something similar, but obviously an all-new enemy type. Continues to employ energy-based arm-mounted launchers, avoid at all costs, while its defensive Tesla coil shield can prevent your incoming attacks. Honestly, it'll be interesting to see if there's a huge difference between weapons and just being able to break that shield in general. Like if you're using a pistol, for example, how hard is it going to be to actually take this special enemy out, or elite enemy, I guess I should say, as opposed to something like an AR? Are you even going to be able to do it? I don't know. I'm looking forward to actually diving in and seeing what this elite enemy has to offer. Now it says we have other entities. Red Mist descends, robots dispatched. Emergency enforcement protocols may have already been triggered across all three towers, resulting in periodic robot battalions known as Commando Klaus. Homing in on perceived intruders preceding by a strange red mist, these automated enemies have had their higher functions disconnected and self-destruct sequences activated and should be dispatched with swift and focused aggression. To be fair, these kind of sound like a mix between like toxic zombies, right? Like they're probably going to detonate when they get close to you or self-destruct. And it may just be referring to the special rounds in general, as far as the red mist is concerned, instead of it being like a normal yellow glow that we see on our screens. Mechanical threats are only one of the expected adversaries. Reports of zombified Project Janus security and administrative personnel, the remains of scientists, hazmat crews, and even experimental mutations are confirmed to be active within the towers. So I don't know if that just refers to all the enemy types we've already faced, and maybe they're referencing their return, or if we're going to be seeing some other new enemy types that aren't being referenced here in the roadmap. The new wonder weapon, the gorgofex. Now, I can't emphasize enough how cool it is that they're going all in with a brand new one. I think leading up to this map, many people thought it was going to be the Cerberus returning, but the fact that it's not even a returning wonder weapon is insane. The latest intel all but confirms Janus Towers may be hiding a new and grotesquely potent wonder weapon known as the gorgofex. Partly charred experimentation notes discovered on microfic indicate the existence of a bioetheric armament, combining fungal, floral, and insectile traits to deliver precise impact, damage, and gravity-defying disruption in close quarters. Glowing membranes on the weapon show hints of motion and circulation under the surface. The weapon seems to pulse and breathe with a beating central heart-like organ that pumps energy through its weapon. Due to the saturation of dark ether and other unknown energies, the weapon is said to emit faint psychic vibration. But how does it work? Well, I'm going to be honest. Fungal, floral, and insectile traits leads me to believe there's going to be 3 different upgrades for the weapon, and maybe you're going to have to utilize those for the main quest, obviously. It is also possible that it's just referring to a combination of things, and that's just what builds this one singular weapon. It doesn't necessarily say anything about there being different variations of it, so that could be completely wrong, right? The gorgofex fires what appears to be a slug of ether-based energy. On impact, this inflicts a dense area of direct damage with a tight area of effect. The damage of the impact varies depending on whether the user charges the attack before release, so it is going to have a charge-like ability. Shortly after impact, energy from a fully charged blast dissipates outward, inflicting damage in a wide area. The dissipation seems to cause a focused, temporary gravitational anomaly, catching and incapacitating enemies to float at it just above head height. So not exactly like a Casimir, but something sort of similar. More research is required, but it appears 2 additional variations have been uncovered. So I was right. They are showing us the gorgofex. This is one specific type, and there is going to be 2 other variations. So 3 variations in total of this new wonder weapon. Then they jump into some additional content. It looks like it tells us a little bit more about the main quest. The Assault on Janus Towers and the Reckoning main quest go live at the start of Season 5 on Thursday, August 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Ensure you complete the main quest to obtain the Blood, Sweat, and Gears operator skin for Gray, which is shown here, an intriguing weapon charm, multiple calling cards, and sizable XP rewards. Players who complete the main quest prior to the mid-season directed mode will earn a unique calling card. Now, I'm guessing this part is going to be referencing some map elements that we can expect. Unstable gravity. Due to the experiments conducted in the Redacted, this chamber may experience fluctuating gravity with projectile weaponry and movement affected during these intermittent gravitic anomalies. Rapid transportation teleporters. Using failsafe experimentation with etheric energy, Project Janus scientists have developed a means of instantly transporting organic and inorganic material between points with almost no fatalities reported. These devices work in attuned pairs, one acting as a transmitter and the other as a receiver. I think we've kind of seen something like that in an old Zombies iteration, but probably not exactly like we're going to see in this. Rapid transportation anti-gravity personal launchers, a novel and likely completely safe means of transportation used in pairs. The launchers create a focused tunnel of gravity, allowing the user illusion of flight and the ability to jump from one location, such as a tower, balcony, or overlook, to another. That sounds insane. So it seems like the way you're going to go from tower to tower, as they are going to probably function separately, is you'll be able to utilize these anti-gravity personal launchers to kind of get yourself from one spot to the other. I'm excited to see what that even means and obviously get my hands on it myself. I'm assuming this is a look at the trap that is available on the map. It says the caster turret, the cognitive and adaptive system target elimination reinforcement turret with armament and control panel components is a joint venture between the Project Janus Cognitive Science and Security Technology Division. This wall-mounted automated cannon unleashes devastatingly powerful barrages of etheric energy and quick bursts to neutralize threats. Update the turret with redacted nano energy technology and redacted. So we're not going to know what this means till we get our hands on it ourselves, but guessing that's just a first look at the trap available on the map. Now we got additional gameplay content. Returning modes and access to LTMs across the final Zombies map become available as Season 5 progresses. Also, be sure to equip the new Mr. Peaks field upgrade in your pregame loadout for use in Reckoning, as well as Shattered Veil, the Tomb, Citadel des Morts, Terminus, and Liberty Falls. So, Grief mode will be coming to Reckoning in season. We're going to have directed mode, obviously, a few weeks after launch, so make sure you guys get your Easter eggs completed before that. We're going to have Team Cranked available in mid-season. We're getting a new support score streak. The combat bow is making its return. Step away from the workbench and become a lone survivor, firing single-shot, explosive-tipped arrows that erupt on contact, scorching rotting flesh and igniting a blaze that immolates any stragglers too slow to shamble clear of its fiery trail. My guess is that this is likely going to be something that's either really terrible or absolutely busted, and you're going to see people going back to something like the Guardian and annihilating him in 3 shots or something stupid. The additional field upgrade, Mr. Peaks. This is a really surprising one. I don't think we saw this coming at all. Summon Mr. Peaks to our reality to create chaos as the deadly and distracting bunny busts out the moves and bashes undead brains to a raving disco beat. Once Mr. Peak arrives in your hands, throwing this hairy helper into the fray, and he gleefully attracts normal and special enemies and attacks any undead with his wandering radius, savaging foes until they explode in a shower of bright confetti. So it's almost like a new tactical in some fashion, but obviously something they don't want you to be able to utilize super often or be able to purchase through salvage. So they're going to make it a field upgrade. I just hope it's honestly really good. And I would assume that means it's going to have augments. So that's kind of exciting. And you looks like we have Apex Hunter, which is likely a big game. I'm not going to go too far into these because you guys can go ahead and check them out for yourself. But 3 major, 3 minor. I would, like I said, I would imagine, yep, Apex Hunter does the strongest nearby enemy other than bosses. So that seems like it'd be cool. For example, Uber Klaus would be targeted over regular foes with increased damage inflicted. That's actually a really good one. Might see myself utilizing that because then when you actually have issues with the things that aren't regular zombies, you can use your field upgrade to keep you safe. Now, the last thing I want to dive into here is the Reckoning Zombies Leaderboard event. Compete for top placement in the Zombies Reckoning Leaderboard event. Play a Zombies match on the Reckoning map to enter the leaderboard and rack up eliminations to earn leaderboard points, helping you climb to a higher position. Special, elite, and boss enemies will earn you more points, so seek out the toughest enemies and take them out. The higher your placement in the Reckoning event leaderboard, the greater the rewards at the end of the event. Keep playing to earn leaderboard points and complete event challenges to unlock rewards when completed. Honestly, I'm not 100% against these events. The unfortunate part is, more than likely with this map being brand new, there is going to be some sort of cheese that people might utilize. And if that is the case, then these events are kind of lame, right? Because then people are cheesing it. Then there's people that aren't cheesing it or don't have as much time to play, and they absolutely don't stand a chance. So hopefully it'll be pretty legit across the board. But outside of that, the roadmap is looking pretty exciting for Season 5 of Zombies. I know I'm looking forward to it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you are looking forward to most with this new season. That's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all support in the channel. Look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!